2-1. The Knicks keep running into roadblocks in their head coaching search. They've asked to speak to 5 coaches around the league and have been turned down all 5 times. The latest, Jason Kidd from Dallas and Billy Donovan from Chicago. NBA Finals, the Pacers beat the Thunder 116-107 to go up 2-1 in the best of 7. Tyrese Halliburton just missed a triple-double. He had 22 points, 11 assists, and 9 rebounds in the win. Benedict Mathurin had 27 points off the bench. Pascal Siakam had 21 points for Indiana, which hasn't lost back-to-back games in 3 months. Jalen Williams had 26 points for Oklahoma City in the loss. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander added 24. Chet Holmgren had 20. Game 4 in Indiana on Friday night. Save big when you bundle auto and home, renters, or condo with Progressive. That's the SportsGrid Sports Flash. I'm Chuck Sanders.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $200-$300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code MAP to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code MAP for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code MAP for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
You don't have to sink a 30-footer from the end of your driveway to come out of the NBA playoffs smelling like a rose. SportsGrid brings you all the angles, insights, and odds.
And more to make you a winner.
This is the SportsGrid Radio Network.
The only place in football where the offense is always on the field is on Moneyline. With the 2 best hosts in radio, Donnie Rightside.
If anybody wasn't watching, listen, I don't know what you were doing.
And Kevin Walsh.
Forget act like you've been there before.
On the SportsGrid Radio Network, SiriusXM Channel 159.
Major championships, people, underway right now. And that includes the NHL. That includes the NBA. And that includes golf right now out at Oakmont. We'll update you on that and much more as the best hour of your day now is officially underway. It's Donnie Rightside. It's Kevin Walsh. It's a Thursday. Lovely, lovely, warm day in the Northeast, K-Dub. How we feeling here?
Whoa.
Wow.
You know what? Let's get right into it here, Don. Let's get right into it here. I had to send Donnie a good text.
What are you looking to
said,
take
Donnie,
you sent me a text?
Donnie,
Where?
I sent you
an email.
No. You responded to it. I sent Donnie a text. I said, "Oh, DRS, listen.
Yes.
I don't think I'm gonna be late for radio, but I also have no idea because I've been at the car shop, which is tied to the dealership for longer than I thought I was going to be. Because I went and dropped it off yesterday, Donnie. We got an issue with the car, and here was
what happened.
So this is going to sound nuts, all right?
Mm-hmm.
But basically, Donnie, if the car is in between a certain RPM, the whole car vibrates. It sounds like there's an earthquake going on in the car.
Now, it's just because you're a big guy? I mean, can we rule that out or no? Just the car itself?
Here's the deal. It definitely seems to involve how much weight is in the car, because if there's anything in the trunk, it seems to be set off. So maybe if you, Ben, and Lisi were driving around with stuff in the trunk, it'd be fine.
Yes,
right?
Correct.
Because here's why, Donnie. Mm-hmm. They tried to drive it around. They were like, we weren't hearing anything. So then basically I had to get in the car this morning and say, let's go for a ride. All right, we're going to find this. And we got it. We got it. Now, here's the deal. I had to leave that vehicle with them. So we had to, boom. Okay, here I am. Now, here's the problem, right? When they initially pulled the car up, they're like, everything's great. And I was like, no, it's not. It also turned out that out of nowhere, my back right tire was losing air by the second. Now, that wasn't the case when I brought it in, right?
Yep.
So now apparently I'm finding out that they're like, yeah, by the way, it's just going to, cost a little bit of money to plug that tire up for you. How do you figure that? How do you figure that, fellas? Now I'm not even the one dealing with it right now, but that's where I'm at mentally.
Pay it out.
That's where I'm at. How would that
You want to tell me where I'm at yesterday? Here's now. See, this weekend is Father's Day weekend. Glorious weekend. Enjoy it with your pops if they're still around. Great memories if they're not. But it's a great weekend here. So for me, I say, all right. So I'm actually going to take my father-in-law. No, that's not the right. My stepfather. What am I saying? My stepfather and my mom out today for lunch, which is coming up after the show, which is great. Tomorrow, taking pops out for Father's Day for lunch.
Very
and
nice.
Then obviously Saturday, Sunday, be spending with myself, my daughter, and my wife. So I say, all right, here's what I got to do in the afternoon. I got to go out and get a couple gift cards here. So I'm going to swing by a Rite Aid in my area, which right next door is a TD Bank. Like, all right, let me just go in the TD Bank. I'm going to hit the ATM real quick before I go next door to the Rite Aid. So I go, pull up to the ATM, Kevin, put my card in. It doesn't come out, doesn't recognize anything. So I'm like, there's like 3 people in the bank, a couple tellers in there, a couple people waiting in line. So I'm just looking around, I'm like pushing buttons. Nothing's happening on the screen. So I was like, come on. All right, let me go up there and see if they can just get this out. So I get up there, like, card aid. It's like, yep, got to get you a new debit card, which they can't open it. They're not allowed to. So your card is just gone at that point. So it takes me about 2 or 3 minutes, though, Kevin, to like get in line and have like a teller. But people are coming in behind. Next lady comes in. Things say my card. I'm like, now I have a little grin on my face. Like, so it's not just me. So like more people like showing up, and eventually they got out there and said, all right, don't put any more cards in this thing. But putting my card in, Kevin, ate it, which then the worst part is not that it took me an extra 10 minutes to get a card reprinted. But now, like, I just got my first like email. Your payment has been declined. Like, because you have so many subscriptions usually tied to a credit card and or debit card. I got to go back and figure out what's tied to my debit card, all because I just wanted to use the ATM and just went at the wrong time yesterday, and it ate my card. I mean, just brutal stuff. Like when people tell you, like, I lost my wallet, like, dude, keep the cash. Just give me the wallet back with the contents so I don't have to go over this whole new checking account, new banking account, new credit cards, and all this stuff at this point, and new licenses.
That's not fun. That's not a good time. So wait, but what was the resolution there? They had to retrieve it?
No, they're not. The tellers aren't allowed to open up the ATM. So they just go, we just got to get you a brand new card. Like, your card's gone.
My
like,
gosh.
Like, not like, hey, let me put the key and open up. Oh, here's your card. Sorry about that. The card's gone, which means the lady behind me was like, I got kids in the car. Like, all my stuff's attached to this. Like, no, you got to wait like 10 minutes. So I was like, oh, we might get a scene in here at this spot. But understood. Nothing worse than I just want to stop in and get a quick bit of cash too. Your card is now gone. Come up here. Let me print a brand new one. And then you got to go back and again see like emails that come across. Your card has been declined. Tough scene.
That's not fun, Donnie. That's not fun.
That's how I spent my day yesterday.
That's pretty brutal, honestly. I think you've got me beat. I'm a little angrier in the moment than you are. Mm-hmm. But I think that's actually way more fresh. Like, what's here? All right. So let me try and ask this the right way.
Yep.
What is one service, if any, that card might be tied to, where at the end of the month you're going to be like, what do you mean I don't have my Fangrass subscription anymore?
Yeah, exactly. Like this one was one of like was this like $14 a month, which is with Place It, which is how you make like the thumbnails like that I use. But I went on this morning just to do a quick check. There's nothing serious, like, hey, I got to fill up my gas tank. I don't have this. You're out of gas. Like, well, I can't even drive home tonight. Like, somebody come pick me up, wife an hour away. Like, there's nothing that drastic on there for me. So it's not too bad. Most of my stuff is tied to like the actual checking account number itself as opposed to the debit card. So those are unchanged. But it's just fun. It's like, when am I going to start seeing this? And of course, today, less than 24 hours later, stuff's already getting declined at this point. What else I was waiting for too? Is like, all right, I got the debit card. Let me go to Rite Aid. I'm going to buy some things. Like, this card doesn't work. I'm like, oh, here we go. Or it would have been worse, Kevin, if I'm at the bank at 5:30, it ate my card and nobody's around. And also the fact that card would have ate like 70 cards that night. Like, if nobody paid attention to it, that would have been mayhem at that point. So I was kind of frustrated. You can't just open that thing up and get it to me. But I understand where that's like, hey, on planes now, they lock the pilots in for a certain reason. Like, it's easy to get in there at this point, right? So I knew I couldn't be like, that's ridiculous. I want my card right now. Like, all right, make me my new one up here. No big deal.
Meanwhile, they're sitting there, Donnie, because again, I had to drive this guy around, right? They're like, maybe that's when there was a nail got put in a tire. It said that before I got in the car, man.
Yeah.
So they are
they are legitimately four new tires at that point right now at this point. They're like, you know what? Let me sell you. Look, let me sell you on this new car. Let me give my name Bob. Bob's down the street, works down over at Chevrolet. Take yourself down there.
Here's the thing, right? Like you kind of play this right. It feels like in this moment though, because if you go in there guns blazing while like the car is still hanging from the ceiling,
yes, yep.
You know what I mean? They might be like, "We dropped,
take it."
Yeah,
yeah.
But once it's all retrieved, like maybe then we can figure this out. I cannot even believe that they're like, "What do you mean we put the nail in your tire?" I mean, I don't know. There was no nail when I brought it. There's a nail when I got it back. I would like to believe that would probably land on your plate. Can you believe this, man? That's a hot start. I'm not happy.
I mean, this goes like it's funny that we start the show like this. I just got a brand new Ford Explorer in like 2008. Took it to get like its first oil change, Kevin. They didn't put the cap on the oil change correctly, so I drove home and my engine seized. It was like a big battle for like a month and a half of who's going to pay for it. Like I don't know if I said, so I don't change my oil. You changed it. There's no oil in my car. Like, whose fault? So eventually, I think Geico actually paid for it and just bit the bullet on a brand new engine. But I had a rental car for like 30 days, Kevin, that when the rental car was up, I was like, look, I work until like 7:30 at night. I can't make it over. Like, look, just bring it over, drop it off in the lot, put the keys in the box, and, that'll be fine after hours. Well, I did that, and I'm going to tell you about what happened on the story with a similar story where they go, yeah, you know what? I think this is a little bit different. I say, no. You get ready for this story as we hit all the rest of the sports topics right here on Moneyline.
Of summer have returned and taken the field for the great American pastime. You should monetize that. Get the winning edge. This is the SportsGrid Radio Network.
With your news flash, I'm Trey Westerberg. This update brought to you by Wendy's. One of the world's most active volcanoes, Kilauea on Hawaii's Big Island, began spewing lava from the north vent on Wednesday, the latest event in an ongoing eruption that began almost 6 months ago. Lava fountains reached heights of more than 330 feet and feeding multiple lava streams. Scientists with the U.S. Geological Survey's Hawaiian Volcano Observatory said the fountains were likely to go higher. A bid for bail by former U.S. Senator Robert Menendez while he appeals his bribery conviction was rejected Wednesday by a federal appeals court a week before the veteran New Jersey politician is scheduled to report to prison. The 71-year-old was convicted last July of selling his clout for bribes. FBI agents who searched his home 3 years ago found $480,000, some of it stuffed inside boots and jacket pockets, gold bars worth an estimated $150,000, and a luxury convertible in the garage. I'm Trey Westerberg with your news flash.
With Fidelity Wealth Management, a dedicated advisor gets to know you and your goals to build a comprehensive plan to help grow and protect your wealth. Backed by a team of specialists, they'll analyze all your accounts, even the ones they don't manage, to keep an eye on taxes and provide proactive portfolio insights that can help you unlock your wealth's full potential. Learn more at fidelity.com/wealth. Investment minimums apply. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC. Member NYSE SIPC.
Huge news. Right now at Wendy's, you can get a Son of Baconator for just $3. I don't think you understand this situation. The Son of Baconator is only $3 for a limited time. You know, smoked bacon, rich melted cheese. That Son of Baconator is only $3. Thank you to whoever wished upon that star. For bacon that just won't quit, gotta be Wendy's.
U.S. price and participation may vary. Prices may be higher in Alaska and Hawaii, not valid on a combo or on third-party delivery platforms.
You don't have to sink a 30-footer from the end of your driveway to come out of the NBA playoffs smelling like a rose. SportsGrid brings you all the angles, insights, and odds.
And more to make you a winner.
This is the SportsGrid Radio Network.
All right, we got a lot of hot sports takes here. Let me just get this one out that I was teasing before with Kevin. Like, everybody's had car nightmare stories. But again, there's no worse nightmare than driving home at around 9 o'clock and all of a sudden your car shuts off on 295 and you coast for about a tenth of a mile and be like, what happened to my car? And it's brand new and it had no oil in it. The cap was put on wrong. The oil leaked out. I drove home, seized up on me. So fighting with insurance companies, if anybody knows, takes a long time. It's like, look, in the meantime, you're going to get a rental car, which I think was like a Honda Accord or something like that. So again, drove around that for a month, and I'm yelling at Geico. I'm yelling at this oil place, and finally got, okay, drop it over to the Ford dealership. They got a brand new engine for it. They'll drop it in, and we'll handle it from there. So that got done. So then I have to drop the rental car off. But again, working a job where it's like, I'm 30 miles from home. Like, you close at 5. I don't get done until it's like, this can't work. Like, all right, drop the car off. Put there's a lock box out front. Just drop the keys off on that and we'll be good. It's like right down the street from my shop that I owned. So I did that. And then the next day I get a call. I was like, hey, where'd you drop that car? So I dropped it like right where you told me to in this. Yeah, we came in. There was a cracked windshield and all the tires were missing. So I was like, man, it looks like you guys got robbed. Like, that's it. So I get a call back from the general manager. It's like, well, we let you drop it off at night. And, it happened. What do you say we split the cost of the repairs? I
Whoa!
Said, yes. See what I mean? Like that. Can you imagine that was asked of me? I said, well, number one, even if I did the wrong thing, you told me to do that. You could have very easily said, well, where are you at? We'll pick the car up and do this. But no, just drop it off after. And then somebody would take me home, which again was my buddy who was with me at that point, took me home. But the fact that it was 4 tires gone, cracked windshield, which means obviously the car was lifted and robbed. You should split it or something like that. I was like, this is hilarious. Now, again, I'm not splitting it with them and nothing ever happened, but I can from people and they're like, look, I'm not covering that. We did wrong. Can you at least get the guy to split the $800, whatever it would be with us here and we'll call it a day? Unbelievable, man. So there's my car story of the day. Seized engine led to a car being put up on all fours, taken away, and the car company going we told you to put it here, but it got robbed, so you're on the hook for half of it.
What was it? The same people who attacked Joe Lisi's car?
That's true. Roving. Maybe it was Lisi in his rant. Joe used to tell me he boosted cars when he was a teenager, I think, at one point. So maybe it was Lisi driving around. I picture Lisi hot wiring cars in the the early 1990s.
No, I really couldn't.
Whoa, there's Lisi. Woof, nice whip, Lisi. Yeah, get in. Why is there a screwdriver in the ignition right there? Don't worry about it.
No, I don't. No, I don't think that's. Gosh, that's. Remember that? You just months of you telling him, man, just get a new car, stop. He's like, no, it's going to be fine. And then he gets the car back. He's like, yeah, I don't think the engine works.
They were skiing on that car. Joe's car was driving down the street with one tire for miles at a time. He's I think it's going to be all right. They'll fix that thing. But yeah, car stories. There you go. Nice little Thursday to start the show. Other stories, Kevin, here. OKC, Indiana. I'll tell you right now, I went 1-1 last night because I really liked OKC -2.5 first half. Watching the first quarter, easy money. Going to be up 20 at the half the way this is going. Great close to the half there for Indiana. They were up 4. Also really liked over 2.5 3-point shots made for Tyrese Halliburton +100. He knocks down a couple of those. That one cashed in. Now, I didn't see the second half. Again, waking up, seeing the highlights and reading through it. But I went to bed going boy, wouldn't it be something if I woke up tomorrow Indiana won that? Because all I asked for to open this series was play some good basketball, which they're doing. But just give me something I could be wow, that's interesting. Because I think we can agree, Kevin, if last night ended with OKC winning and they were up 3-0 in the series, what a waste of time. But the fact that Indiana got 1 in OKC, it's all right, well, at least we know we get 5 games. I love they won last night because I do still think OKC wins this series, but now you're starting to get that doubt creeping in oh, my goodness, Indiana can win game number 4. And if they do, Kevin, this series is over. I don't care how good OKC is. They're not going to win 3 straight games against Indiana with at least one of those games in their building. When you were watching that game last night, what were you thinking? Could it really be Indy wins this over OKC?
Yeah, I think to the closing point, once they won the game, it's okay, they can win the finals, right? They act because, of course, they can win game 4. It's been remarkable, Donnie. I don't want to sound, I don't know, snobby or anything. But people who are I cannot believe that the Pacers won this game. It's the Thunder have not covered a road game all postseason. The biggest road victory is by 6. The Pacers have been awesome. Why is it that stunning that they won game 3 in their building? What is the evaluation process for? Again, I also with you still think the Thunder will win the series, but again, the OKC, the people who are OKC in 4, that was insane. Those people then let up a little bit, right? But once the Thunder won game 2, they were OKC in 5. And it's no, man. You're just not grasping what this postseason has been for these two basketball teams. Now, the thing is, OKC has not lost consecutive games all postseason. Neither has the Indiana Pacers. The issue for the Indiana Pacers, Donnie, in that sentence would mean if these teams are going to trade wins, right? That means that the Pacers are going to win 3 times in OKC. That's not happening. That's obviously within the series. So I would say the Pacers probably do need to go up 3-1 for me to think, Donnie, they can win, or for me to be like, okay, they will win the series, right? Because I still think it's the Thunder. You still think it's the Thunder. If you are, but again, right now, it's hard not to think this goes 7 games, Donnie. It really is.
Yeah, I have it at 6 either way. I'm still sticking to that because I think if OKC wins this game, they're going to win game number 5, and then they can sort of have that, we smell blood in the water, let's close this out in game number 6. But also, Kevin, if Indiana wins game 4, if we get that, yeah, you're right. I mean, look, that went 7, and anything could have happened at that point. I would love game 7. I think it would be great.
Yeah.
I'm just going to stick to the 6 here and see what happens because I think both of these teams have a pathway still to win it in 6. But boy, oh boy, man. You want to talk about a monster basketball game where OKC was like, hey, we're just going to be christened and away we go. And how about the run that people were talking about for Indiana, winning a championship when nobody talked about them as even an option to start the finals or let alone start the Eastern Conference Finals or the playoffs for themselves. We'll be right back. It's Moneyline on a Thursday.
SportsGrid. Stamping out the boredom in baseball year after year. We bring you all the angles, insights, and information you need. This is the SportsGrid Radio Network.
The SportsGrid Radio Network presents This Date in Sports History.
1991, the NBA Finals. The Chicago Bulls beat the LA Lakers 108-101 in Game 5. It's their first of 3 straight titles. Michael Jordan is named the series MVP in his first NBA Finals appearance.
Pippen comes away with it, and the Chicago Bulls have won their first ever NBA championship.
For SportsGrid Radio, I'm Mike DeMurgis.
The Technology Minute with George Capalbo.
New University of Geneva research suggests AI better at understanding human emotional intelligence than most humans.
Is this Tech Minute about something serious, or are you just really, really good at pretending?
No, 6 generative AIs actually tested 30% better than humans on standard emotional intelligence tests.
If nothing else, I'm really good at creative guessing.
Even wilder, AI generated new emotional intelligence tests from originals as useful as the ones humans took years to develop.
It's like a party where I know everyone but don't remember their name.
Meaning AI might replace human psychologists, but only when supervised by humans. For now, anyway.
My deepest fear, knowing the answer 5 minutes before I'm asked.
Follow me at Capalbo on X and stay tuned to The Technology Minute for more cool stuff like this.
Carver and Lisi.
Oiler goal. Look who it is. It's Corey Perry, Joe. It was Perry who scored. We didn't play him for the goal. You should have played him for the goal. Why didn't you talk me into it more? You said Perry to score.
I said you won. Don't start with me. I've been hot with the goal scorers. You're not so smart with the goal score. I know what I'm talking about.
It's Carver and Lisi with Mike Carver and Joe Lisi. Weekdays 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 Pacific on the SportsGrid Radio Network. In baseball, a batter gets 3 strikes. In sports gaming, you get 1. No do-overs. You need all the help you can get. And that's what you get with us, your trusted source for gaming odds and more. This is the SportsGrid Radio Network.
Oh, it's a Thursday. It feels like summer, by the way. Like even out at the U.S. Open. Give you a quick update on that one. 88, 89 degrees. Heat, humidity expected in the afternoon. J.J. Spawn through 13 holes with the lead at the Open at -4. Gary Woodland, Ludwig Oberg, Siwoo Kim, Thomas Dietrich. Rory's at -1, Kevin, through 12 holes at this point. Tom Kim, even through 13. Who else we got? DeChambeau, +1. Phil Mickelson, +1. And then they have some of the carnage, Kevin. Evan Beck, the amateur, he's through 13 holes, +11. Justin Hicks, +11. Alistair Dalchery, +8. By the way, I went to a U.S. Open. I'll tell you the interesting thing about what TV doesn't really show you. You think when you go to you go to an NBA game, like, sure, man, I know all these players. You go to a baseball game, yeah, I know just 90% of the roster, most of the roster from the other team. NFL game, yeah, I know just about everybody out there. You go to a golf tournament, specifically the U.S. Open with a large field. It was funny to me. It was like, yes, we see the Justin Roses who won it, Phil Mickelson, and Tiger Woods was there, and you see the stars, but there was like half an hour and 45 minutes that go by. Like players are walking by, like, that's not a real player. Who is it? Yeah. Oh, that's Riley Lewis. What? Oh, that's Lanto Griffin. Like, you figure, like, when you go to a major, it's like everybody's a rock star. You'd be surprised at how many people's like, who is that? And can he even play?
Yeah, it's why when you go to the leaderboard, it's like, all right, there's Ludwig, there's Rory.
Yes.
It's like, all right, it's this Spawn. All right, this is irrelevant, right? It just doesn't feel like it matters. I made a bet in this tournament, Donnie. I'm wondering what you think about it. It was over on DK.
Mm-hmm.
It was over 1.5 players to finish the tournament under par at plus 105.
Wow. That's a good start then for you right there.
Yeah, it is. But, like, that's how hard they felt this tournament was going to be. Donnie, it was minus 185 for just any golfer to finish under par. That's pretty nuts.
It is. Because of how tough this course is supposed to shape up, like, and how much they appreciate. Like, you want to shoot 4 under on day number 1? Now, also, we had Keith Stewart on with us this morning. He was trying to explain that because we're saying the same thing you are, Kevin, right? Okay, man, minus 4s, minus 3s. But, like, there's only, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 players under par today. And there are guys on the opposite end of the spectrum. Again, plus 11, plus 8, plus 7, plus 6, plus 5. Like, the course is playing way over par. So it's not like, well, the USGA is going to have to really ramp up. Like, no, guys are getting their backs broken right now on that golf course. I just want to see where it ends on today and tomorrow, because the one thing you do know about the Open, it's not like, hey, man, I'm just going to scramble. You can't scramble at a U.S. Open. You can't be like, well, I hit my drive 330 in the rough, I'll just overpay. You cannot do that. Like, and it only takes like, hey, I have a minus 6. What happened to DeChambeau? Oh, quadruple bogey because he was in the rough the entire time on hole number 13. That's going to happen. So I'm interested to see. And I haven't watched the tournament yet since I've been on the air this morning. And obviously, we're doing the live radio show. I like the U.S. Open. Like, I like to watch and just see, like, well, just missed the fairway by 2 feet, which in any other golf tournament is a great shot. This one, horrible shot. That's what I like to see.
What did you think of Scotty coming in?
He's so, it's the sports books are like, we know he's going to win. We don't even want you to bet it. So just move on to somebody else. Like, it's the U.S. Open, which means, again, Scotty's plays under the same conditions. He's a great driver of the ball, great irons, great putter. We get that. And he's won multiple championships. He's red hot this year. But it's like 1 versus 100 golfers. And like, if he has like one bad stretch of holes, he can't win. And then he keeps on finding himself way up there. I just can't bet him. How do I equate it to, Kevin? Like Steph Curry, we used to bet 3-point shots. Like, hey, why don't you take the best 3-point shooter? Well, his number's so ridiculous. You can't take the best 3-point shooter. Like, I'm going to take him over 5.5 threes made. Like, what are we doing here? That's how it feels like for me with Scotty Scheffler right now.
And I remember even with it's like, all right, we're doing our alt, taking down parlays. Steph for 3, minus 2,000. It's like, I'm not putting that in. That, you know what I mean? It would always be frustrating. Yeah. I was going through the Scheffler performances at majors, and again, incredibly high bar I'm about to reference, but he's not won multiple majors in a single year, which I didn't know if that basically was, okay, well, eventually he's going to, because of course he is, or, hey, that's a really hard thing to do. He's going to continue to, he'll perform, but he's not going to win it. I also noticed, Don, he usually finishes outside the top 20 in one major per year, typically. Based on how hard this golf course is supposed to be, wouldn't it make sense that this would maybe be the one? Like, if he's not going to win it, he finishes 24th.
I hear where you're coming from, but it's crazy because nobody's going to run. Like, typically for me, I say you got to just run away from Scotty. Like, you got to get up like 13 strokes just to bury him. That's never going to happen in this tournament. Like, you're looking at some really good golfers right now, +3, +4. Scotty goes out today and shoots a -1, has 2 shots off. It's like, all right, he wins it again. Just the way to feel it is at this point right now. It's Thursday, people. It's the SportsGrid Network. Kevin Adani. We'll be right back.
Is he?
The NBA playoffs.
It all comes down to this.
And we'll give you all the angles to make sure you win a little something something. This is the SportsGrid Radio Network.
Progressive presents the SportsGrid Sports Flash. I'm Chuck Sanders. NBA Finals, the Pacers beat the Thunder 116-107 to go up 2-1 in the best of 7. Tyrese Halliburton just missed a triple-double. He had 22 points, 11 assists, and 9 rebounds in the win. Benedict Mathurin had 27 points off the bench. Pascal Siakam had 21 points for Indiana, which hasn't lost back-to-back games in 3 months. Jalen Williams had 26 points for Oklahoma City in the loss. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander added 24. Chet Holmgren had 20. Game 4 in Indiana on Friday night. The Knicks keep running into roadblocks in their head coaching search. They've asked to speak to 5 coaches around the league and have been turned down all 5 times. The latest, Jason Kidd from Dallas and Billy Donovan from Chicago. Stanley Cup final tonight, Game 4. Oilers and Panthers in Florida. The defending champion Panthers lead the series 2-1. Save big when you bundle auto and home, renters, or condo with Progressive. That's the SportsGrid Sports Flash. I'm Chuck Sanders.
Craftsman Days are here at Lowe's with big savings on the tools you need. Save $100 on the Craftsman V26 Tool Power Tool Combo Kit, now at $199. No matter what the project is, Craftsman's high-quality, high-performance products empower you to build on. Stop by your nearest Lowe's store and check out the full line of Craftsman tools today. Valid through 6/18 while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
Find what you love what you find. A Total Wine and More. There's so much waiting for you. Spirits and beer, thousands of wines. Walk right through the door. It's all here to explore. With guides in the know and prices so low, it just might blow your mind. You're gonna find what you love and love what you find.
Drink responsibly, B21.
Let's keep it real.
Baseball can be boring.
That's where SportsGrid comes in.
Nothing livens up those 9 innings like sports gaming. You might experience something you've never felt in a baseball game, a quickened pulse. This is the SportsGrid Radio Network.
Chat box popping out here at this point. Popping, people. Loving the NBA Finals here. Bringing the people together. The ratings should improve here from here on out because why? I told you, Kevin, at the beginning of the series. It's up to these 2 teams to show us why we need to believe. So now you should be believing. You should be having fun. The games are great. And by the way, did I see something last? I want to go back because I thought I saw a tweet here. And I don't want to blow what I was talking about while I find this. Let me just go to the box score last night because this is what people were talking about, Kevin, saying, you know what? You don't like the NBA the way this is being played right now, there's something wrong with you. Because always the complaints are, you take a look at OKC, Kevin. 10 of 22 from three-point range. That's manageable. 9 of 27 for the Indiana Pacers. Like the people were saying, like, we didn't get that, I shot 68 three-point shots back and forth. Like you're getting actually more of an old school style basketball games that's not over-reliant on the three-point shot. And I wasn't worried about that at any point. But it is kind of interesting to see 2 teams like in the 20s in shooting threes because you can't win an NBA championship. You got to play analytical basketball. It's trading 3 for 2s here. These teams aren't doing that.
They didn't do it in this game. The Pacers were bombing away in game number 1. But yeah, you're not getting 43s. I also flatly do not think that if you did get 40, people don't like when there's 43s, Donnie, when a team makes 6 of them. They're like, this is the dumbest thing I've ever seen. Like, no one would have been upset if OKC last night shot the lights out from beyond the arc. I don't know. I don't think that's much of a thing to me. Can I ask you this?
Yes.
If there's a game 7, I know you're going to be very frustrated because the game is going to be at 8:00, but that's just what it is.
What day?
Do you think you'll watch it? It'll be a Sunday, the week after Father's Day.
Yes.
Like up. As long as it's close, whole way?
Yes, because I like big events in any event they are, outside of like tennis. Yeah. I'm not going to watch that. But like a big event, like I don't like soccer at all. But from doing shows, like I really enjoy the World Cup. Like the World Cup, and you know what? I'm glad we just went down this path. Because it's not about the World Cup.
Okay.
Golf is on today, Kevin. I don't have a single wager. I told you, I'm going to watch it because I generally enjoy the U.S. Open. This time of the year, Father's Day weekend, tough golf courses, fun stuff here. where do we get away from like at the FanDuel Sportsbook and like, hey, man, let me just throw you out some crazy bets you can make, or Rory to make the cut plus 100. Scotty Scheffler be top 20 plus money, plus 100 opening day. And the reason I brought that up is how much fun that World Cup was when FanDuel and every other book was like every single match like open up like a goal in game number 1 plus 150. You know, England to advance versus Uganda when they were minus 350. Boom, we'll make it plus 100. Put people right into the action. But again, it's a shame they don't do that, but I do like big events. And even though I don't like the Thunder, I don't like the Pacers, they're not my teams. Same thing with the Stanley Cup final, Kevin. If there is a game number 7, I want to watch it all the way through because that's really exciting. And all you can ask for is to get a game number 7 and then to get a, hey, Oklahoma City and Indiana are in the fourth quarter with 3 minutes to go and it's tied. Like, I don't know. Was it game number 7? Did the Cavaliers beat Golden State in 7 games when Kyrie made that triple like a minute ago?
Yeah.
Yeah, see what I mean? I wasn't a fan of LeBron James or the Cavaliers per se, right? I'm a Sixers fan or Golden State. But I remember watching like, this is unbelievable. And that shot by Kyrie is like, he may have just won a championship for Cleveland on that 3-point shot. Like, how awesome is that in that moment? That's what I like about it. And also, this isn't like Jordan winning his 6th or even LeBron James winning another championship. Pacers and OKC aren't used to winning championships. You're going to give me a game number 7 where somebody's going to be the absolute legend in the history of that franchise for having a big number game 7. Like, yeah, I'm in. I don't care what time that is.
No, that I mean, I think that's good to see. I think that's because I think for a lot of people it was like, are these teams interesting enough? And I think that they've been interesting the whole way, obviously, to me. And I think that's become the case to everybody now who watches them. And, you know, this Pacers group is one that you'll remember no matter what, whether they win this or lose this. But listen, for the Thunder, man, you know, if they do lose, it'd be fascinating to see what that offseason looks like, right? You know, we haven't talked about this a lot because it feels like a waste of time, right? Because everyone just thinks they're going to win. But if they don't win, I know everyone will be like, they're young, they'll be fine. Well, they've been waiting forever to make another superstar trade. You're telling me that Giannis is going to get traded this offseason, the Thunder can beat any offer on the table, they're going to lose the finals, and they're just going to let Giannis go to the Knicks or the Spurs or the Rockets? Like, no way. I don't see that. I don't, me at least.
You got to lay in the plan for them. You do got to lay in the plan. Like they probably expect that we're going to roll through this. We could just keep the same team around for 5 years, probably pick up at least another championship. But again, you're looking at the point of, all right, the West wasn't down, but we did catch some breaks here going through, and we didn't play the Celtics and we didn't play the Cavaliers. We played the Pacers and we lost to the Pacers. Like, that's what stings the most. That's what we talk about, like Knicks fans. Like, how was that season? Yeah, it was great to the Eastern Conference Finals, and it probably would have been better, as crazy as it sounds, losing in 6 or 7 games to the Celtics. Boy, that would have been so much fun, but the Celtics are good, and we just couldn't get through them. But the fact that they lined up in the Eastern Conference Finals with the Pacers, who are a good team, we're not knocking them, but they're favored. They were supposed to win that and got beat. It's like, man, that could have been the only chance we get a chance to get to the finals, and we couldn't even get it done there.
It's going to be a real tough blow if they can't get it done. I'll also just say this. There's no defending it. Mark Daigneault is completely lost at the wheel. He is completely 100. Donnie?
Yeah.
His starting lineup through the first 3 rounds of the playoffs. His starting lineup. Do you know how many minutes they've played together so far in this series through 3 games?
How many?
None. Zero. That's crazy, man. That's insane.
Dags.
How could that be? Donnie, could you imagine your Sixers make the finals? You have the same starting lineup the whole postseason run, and your coach goes, you know what?
Shake it up, shake it.
This team, we're better off going a different way. And you're 3 games in as a huge favorite. You've lost twice, and your starting lineup the whole postseason has yet to play together the entire series.
Tough scene, man.
It's indefensible.
What, it's just panicking, Kevin? What is it? Does it get to the pressure point? We're not used to pressure. Now we got massive pressure here. It's the finals. We got to shake it up.
Like Sirianni gets in the Super Bowl. He's like, listen, hear me out, all right? I understand that the way like things have been working. Dallas Goedert,
yeah,
we probably are not going to play you today.
Calc.
All wide receiver. No, not Donnie. Wide receiver sets only. We won't use a tight end all Super Bowl. Be like,
oh, you mean the Ravens against the Chiefs? Like, we'll surprise them.
Yes,
we'll really throw them off.
Yes,
Spags won't get this.
Yes, you know what they don't see coming? Us throwing every play. And Spagnuolo was like, you know what? I didn't see it coming, but This is great.
Interception.
Yes,
Interception.
perfect example, Donnie. That's what they're doing.
Yeah.
The Thunder are like, man, we ain't going to run the ball. That's what you want. It's like, run the ball, man. Run the ball. Put your two bigs on the floor.
Minus 230 now to win that series here, which is still crazy. Like the Pacers are still getting no respect. Like it's minus 230 for OKC. They're down 2-1. It's like, okay, well, they're going home next game. Like, no, you still have another game in Indiana. And here's what I love about it again. That line yesterday, like the 4.5s, the 5s, the 5.5s, they're like 6 as a favorite now. Like going higher for game number 4. Well, those algorithms, man, get to you. It screams to me like I got to take OKC because the 6 seems ridiculous. That's probably going to trend towards a blowout. But now I have this fighting this urge by going like, they don't even have to win the game. Like they'll probably lose by 4 in that game and still cover and have a chance to win it anyway at this point. For me, I don't know if I want, like, what angle do I want to play this? Would I really like to see Indiana win and say, well, then, game number 5 is probably going to go to OKC and it goes back? Or do I want to see it go 2-2, which is a best of 3, which OKC gets 5, kitchen sink for Indy, forces a game 7. Like, I'm talking out not as a bet, as a fan. Like, which way do I want this game number 4 to go, honestly? And I don't know.
You're good either way, is what I would say, Donnie. I think it broke. I think it broke where you're good either way, honestly. Because it's not like if it's 2-2, what are you gonna be like? Series is over. Like, that'd be nuts.
Yes,
what's
correct.
got you smiling? I see that smirk.
I know.
Someone said something.
People out here in the chat box are out of control. You know what I was smirking about? How somebody thought it was hilarious that, the dad broke 79 or broke 80 on a golf course. That got me too. We'll be right back, people.
By the end, you might not have a ring on your finger. Stay tuned and you'll have a little something in your pocket. This is the SportsGrid Radio Network.
Progressive presents the SportsGrid Sports Flash. I'm Chuck Sanders. The Knicks keep running into roadblocks in their head coaching search. They've asked to speak to 5 coaches around the league and have been turned down all 5 times. The latest, Jason Kidd from Dallas and Billy Donovan from Chicago. NBA Finals, the Pacers beat the Thunder 116-107 to go up 2-1 in the best of 7. Tyrese Halliburton just missed a triple-double. He had 22 points, 11 assists, and 9 rebounds in the win. Benedict Mathurin had 27 points off the bench. Pascal Siakam had 21 points for Indiana, which hasn't lost back-to-back games in 3 months. Jalen Williams had 26 points for Oklahoma City in the loss. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander added 24. Chet Holmgren had 20. Game 4 in Indiana on Friday night. Stanley Cup Final tonight. Game 4. Oilers and Panthers in Florida. The defending champion Panthers lead the series 2-1. Save big when you bundle auto and home, renters, or condo with Progressive. That's the SportsGrid Sports Flash. I'm Chuck Sanders.
Find what you love what you find. A total wine and more. There's so much waiting for you. Spirits and beer, thousands of wines. Walk right through the door. It's all here to explore. With guides in the know and prices so low, it just might blow your mind. You're gonna find what you love and love what you find.
Drink responsibly, B21. With Fidelity Wealth Management, a dedicated advisor gets to know you and your goals to build a comprehensive plan to help grow and protect your wealth. Backed by a team of specialists, they'll analyze all your accounts, even the ones they don't manage, to keep an eye on taxes and provide proactive portfolio insights that can help you unlock your wealth's full potential. Learn more at fidelity.com/wealth. Investment minimums apply. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC. Member NYSE SIPC.
Springtime. When a young man's fancy turns to...
Get your mind out of the gutter.
For sports gaming strategies and information that gives you an unfair advantage, you'll find it all right here.
It's the winning edge.
This is the SportsGrid Radio Network.
Bing bong, bing bong. Right back at it here. NBA. Where's Kevin Durant going to go? Is he going to ruin the Houston franchise? Is he going to ruin the San Antonio franchise? We don't know. Also, the New York Knicks have now. There's one thing how you run a search and you just all say, let's just play into the bit with everybody. Hey, we're going to fire Tom Thibodeau. Good. Let's get right on the horn. Let's get some coaches in here. Where do you want to start? I have a list here of the coaches that are available. And Leon Rose is like, no, what do you mean coaches that are available? and we're going to sign somebody that's on another team right now, that somehow that franchise will be like, sure, we'll give you our great young coach here to coach your team, and we won't even ask any compensation back. Let me just talk to you quickly about the Knicks. Their approach of saying, forget out who's available. We just want to call everybody who's unavailable. And then they'd be like, why are you calling me trying to get my coach who's under contract for 3 more years that we like?
Yeah, it's really interesting, Donnie, because I kind of haven't had much of a problem with it in that why not try, right? This was my initial thought, right? If they got Chris Finch, that'd be an excellent hire. If they got Ime Udoka, that'd be an excellent hire. Jason Kidd would have been a pretty good hire. That all worked for me. I got it. Why not? Going to Quinn Snyder, I was like, oh, I don't even know if Knicks fans would think that's an upgrade, right? Yeah. And it seems to just be like, well, we're just going to keep going this way now. And it is confusing because, one, Johnny Bryant did seem like he had a real inside track for this job. Yeah. And I feel like I haven't heard his name in forever tied to this job. The even more incredible thing is that now the latest report, I think, was like Mike Brown and Taylor Jenkins, who were fired this past season.
Yeah.
Is Michael Malone the least liked human being in the NBA in the last 5 years?
Yeah,
like he can't even get an interview.
Yeah. There has to be something that's like, remember when Bill Belichick left New England, like, that guy, there's 8 head coaches spots. Like, he's just going to be like, I want this one. I'll take this one. You'll give me full control and I'll go there. And all it took was one word from Robert Kraft to be like, he is a great coach. You will hand over your franchise, and trust me, you will be disappointed in the end of it. And the guy doesn't even get a call back. So for a guy that just won a championship, usually those doors are getting like kicked down. Like, what? What a team. Yeah. He must have some skeletons in the closet of that organization of A, being hard to get along with, but players leaking out like, this guy is terrible to work for. That's the only thing I can think of. Because he's an animated dude, and he's not old. You know what I mean? Crazy.
100%, right. Yeah, you look at him and you think, oh, this is going to be something that Knicks fans would love. They'd embrace. He's a champion.
Correct.
And it's just the complete opposite, right? There just is not that interest in this guy coming in and becoming the Knicks head coach, which I just think is incredibly fascinating. I still ultimately right now, Donnie, I'm like, I'm just kind of sticking my feet in the, in cement on this one. I think it's going to be Johnny Bryant. And I think they should be happy about that. If I end up wrong, I'm wrong. But I still, I don't know. It just would be very surprising for me to see Taylor Jenkins get this job.
Yeah. Or they're just like, who's a perfect fit there? Rajon Rondo. It's like, oh, which way are we going in New York? Like, are we just going to go I got to keep LeBron happy with JJ, who might be able to coach, but we'll find out on the job if he can do that. And because you're at a spot with the Knicks where you fired Thibodeau because your next step, Kevin, is championship or bust. I don't think you'd be like, oh, let's just take a flyer on the coach, which would be a big part of your season, and have it blow up.
But that's the thing with JJ, Don, and not to open that whole can of worms, but JJ Redick had interviewed for jobs before the Lakers situation, right? The other day someone mentioned Chris Paul. I was like, hold on a second. Chris Paul? Like, I thought he was playing next year. Like, he's going to coach? Like,
coach the Knicks.
You know what I mean? Like, and I'm not like Chris Paul's the kind of guy you look at. You're right. Rondo's the kind of guy you look at. You're like, that guy's going to be a head coach, and he's going to be a pretty good one. But the Knicks job is, I think, Donnie, more of a pressure cooker, significantly, than the job JJ Redick walked into last year. Because a lot of people had kind of given up on the idea of the Lakers team as constructed, contending at any type of level. Now, the Luka trade shifted some things around, don't get me wrong, but the Knicks fired Tom Thibodeau because they believe that if they get the right coach, they're going to win the Eastern Conference. Not because they, were disappointed in making the conference finals, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, it's just interesting because you fire a guy like Tibbs, you think you have your guy already on the hotline number one.
Yeah,
48 hours. We'll let we're not going to disrespect Tom by like, okay, we fired him, and 10 hours later we got a new head coach. Let it die down. Give us 2-3 days here. Bang, new coach. Everybody's fired up, and away we go in the offseason. Yeah. We try to get Giannis. We try to get Kevin Durant. Whatever happens there at that point. We are going to come up against the segment here in just a moment. I want to talk baseball in that final segment here. Just a couple of games that we might be looking at, some of the early action. Did you see Cincinnati today, Kevin? Did you see the news from Adam Schefter?
I think so, but tell me, because I may have not.
Yeah, Shamar Stewart just left camp outright. Like he left minicamp. Yeah, mandatory minicamp. You're not paying me. I'm out of here. And we had such a fun, again, like every time I can get this, it never stops. Where I can just continue to twist that knife in at the Cincinnati Bengals, where nobody understands it. The player doesn't understand it. Even their fans don't understand it. And nobody on the NFL understands what they're actually doing, where they might be able to penny pinch and save money on the back end if their first-round draft pick gets injured or maybe isn't as good. Like you see so many players that are bust after 4 or 5 years, and the Bengals like, well, we're just going to change the game here. We know it's a guaranteed contract, but it's only guaranteed if you're good and you play it all the way out. Like, I'm surprised they didn't put in a clause that's like, this is a 5-year deal. And you can get a new contract after 3 years. You ain't allowed to get a new one until after 5 years, and then we use a franchise if we even determine what we want on you. Like, I'm surprised it hasn't gone up to that at this point. But their first-round pick on a defense that desperately needs playmakers, sitting there telling the camera, like we're not at fault here. I'll sign my contract the way it was supposed to be, and I'll get out there right now. And also, how weird is that, too? It's like you have the Brown family on one side, and you're on the other sideline with the players. Like, what are they talking about? Is that embarrassing for the franchise? Like, why is he standing over there? Because you won't change this nonsense clause that nobody has out of the contract. Well, take it or leave it, pal. We're lucky, and we draft. And by the way, Kevin, it's right? We have your rights for 2 or 3 years. If you don't play, that's just the way it's going to be. You got to be kidding me, Bengals. Feel sorry for the fans. It's the way it is. We got baseball talk coming up next, and away we go into the afternoon on Thursday.
We don't care what your high school girlfriend told you. You are a winner.
Or at least you will be if you keep it here.
This is the SportsGrid Radio Network.
The new SportsGrid app is now available on iOS and the App Store. Experience the ultimate sports betting companion that provides personalized content from your favorite hosts. In-depth matchup previews, game and prop picks, live odds, stats, scores, and more. All in one place. And of course, on the SportsGrid app, you can tune into our live television and radio coverage anytime. On the go, wherever you are. Download the SportsGrid app on the iOS App Store now. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
For anyone who's worried about back taxes, has not filed tax returns, and doesn't know what to do next, stop and listen. Not filing your taxes can have severe consequences, especially in this political climate. Now that COVID is over, the IRS is getting aggressive, massively increasing enforcement and collection efforts. With politicians making all sorts of promises, especially when it comes to taxes, hiding and not dealing with your taxes will cause you harsh legal and financial ramifications. But right now, the IRS offers forgiveness and writes off a massive amount of tax debt. The Tax Doctor offers a free service that helps people get out of IRS collections and back in good standing with the government. Don't hide or bury your head in the sand. Take advantage of our free service. Call now to learn more. 800-816-4492. 800-816-4492. 800-816-4492. That's 800-816-4492.
Football full circle.
The biggest question mark, whether you have a starting franchise guy or not, is can he play from the pocket? And that is the biggest question mark for AR. And we talked about it through his days at Florida. Struggle when you keep AR in the pocket. I need a quarterback that can deliver the football. Love him or hate him, Daniel Jones is a slight upgrade to AR because he's a better pocket passer.
It's Football Full Circle with Ben Stevens and Joe Lisi. Weekdays noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific on the SportsGrid Radio Network. If you want to be an alpha,
you've got to get the winning edge.
It's kind of a necessary ingredient if you want to lead the pack. So mark your territory
with the winning edge.
You're in the big leagues. This is the SportsGrid Radio Network.
Frozen. Right back at it. Come on, you can't keep us down here on a Thursday. By the way, I didn't get to bring this up to you, Kevin, earlier in the week. Did you see FanDuel? Because Shy Picks in the chat box here brought this out. Shout out everybody out there. Yes, shout out Queen. Shout out the Garden State. We're big. We're back. The Pacers fans are all checking in. But the 50-cent transaction fee for FanDuel that they're going to charge in Illinois as a tax, because the taxes are being raised in Illinois on sports books, where now if you make a bet, it's like, okay, I bet $25. It's actually like $25.50, like a 50-cent transaction fee to bet. It's like the tax, and they expect to make up a certain amount. Now, some people go over the handle. And let me hear your idea on this, because for me, I see that and be like, not a single person is going to care. It's wrong. I don't agree with it. I think it's wrong, and it's not going to stop there. But the people, Calvin, I'm telling you, like sometimes I think they lost their mind, saying like, that's going to drive everybody offshore now. And I said, do you understand the gambler? Yeah, go ahead. What do you got?
I need you to just explain it to me, and then maybe $100 to win $100, right?
Correct. Mm-hmm.
What are you getting back? You're now not getting back $100, right?
When you place the wager, it's a 50% tax. So basically, if you bet $1, they're going to take 50 cents out of that. So initially, it's a 50-cent wager if you go that low, right? But again, $100 wager, they're going to take 50 cents from you. So your wager is basically, I guess, what, $99.50? You know what I mean? Like, you bet the minus 110 to win 100, $110 to win 100. Like, you're probably just going to have to do that. Like $100.50 is a $100 bet.
Is an even money wager.
Yes. Or whatever wager. It's 50 cents per bet they take from you. Not a percentage.
It's not a percentage. It's a 50-cent tax.
Yes, correct. Not 50%.
Because I thought you were saying percent.
No. 50 cents. And again, the gatekeepers are like, offshore just exploded with this. And I said, do you understand the way people bet and what's done here? Nobody agrees with it, but I like the cigarette tax. Like, hey, do you know those pack of cigarettes cost like $1, but there's like $10 tax on it? Be like, yeah, I understand it. You know what I mean? Like, people pay tax all the time on things. I hate it, but the fact that it was like FanDuel won't exist in 1 year in Illinois because people aren't going to pay 50 cents.
I'm not going to tell you, Donnie, that it's going to exist. It's going to hurt, I think, though. I think it'll hurt. Like, hey, is this going to gain or subtract? It's going to subtract.
I don't put it this way. It doesn't people in droves. Now, if you want to say like, well, I bet 39 times a day and it costs me, I don't know, $15 to bet, like that stinks. So I'm just talking about the everyday gambler. That's like, hey, I bet $500 over 5 games. I got to pay an extra $2 or $3. Nobody's going to go offshore for that. Nobody. Like, you're not driving me to another offshore book because of 50 cents on my bet.
I understand that, right? But Don, you ever bet something like twice? You know what? I like that. Let me bet it again.
Yeah.
Well, hold on a second. Now I just bet $1 on it but if I would have just done it all in one shot. I also think this. Sometimes betting comes with a lot of frustration.
Mm-hmm.
We know that. And the frustration is supposed to be, Donnie, in whether we win or lose our wager, not before we ever place the wager.
Yeah.
And I think you got to be really careful with that, because sometimes, you know what, Don, here's the thing when it comes to the cigarette tax. I think it's probably an appropriate mention. Yes, a lot of people kept smoking, but some people said, you know what, man, I got to quit this thing anyway. And you might get some people, Don, who go, you know what, I got to quit this thing anyway. I'm done. I'm done getting in the mix. Or like, is DraftKings doing it?
No.
Or is it just a FanDuel thing?
I think it's just FanDuel, and then everybody's waiting, and it'll jump, and then. But trust me, the problem with it is not the 50 cents. It's that in 3 years, it's $5 a bet, because the government has to take whatever you have good. They do it in everything. Like, everything is overtaxed of sort of that luxury per se, like alcohol or gasoline. Like, hey, man, did you know gas could cost like 50 cents right now? Well, no, it costs $5 because $4.50 are taxes on the government, knowing you're going to pay it regardless of what it is. It's a horrible precedent. And I always start with that. But the fact that, like, the gatekeepers, again, like, looks like nobody's going to gamble in the United States anymore. Here goes the offshore market. Like, no, do you know how hard it is sometimes to get money in the offshore market and make sure it's regular? Like, the ease of legalized gambling is the fact that you can just put your debit card in and you get it within seconds. Hey, send me that check. I won $55. And that's going to cost you $50 to get that check to you. I won $5. Yeah, enjoy your winnings, pal. And you'll get it in 6 to 10 business days. Thanks a lot for that $5.
No good.
It is what it is. Thursday, that'll do it. Donnie, Kevin, Chris behind the wheels of steel. See you tomorrow.
Get more of what makes
life worth living.
Actionable insights, analysis, odds, and expert perspective on sports gaming.
If we do say so ourselves.
This is the SportsGrid Radio Network.